As an explorer and wildlife filmmaker, I've seen firsthand the destructive impact of climate change. But it's not just our planet that's suffering. The climate crisis is the single biggest threat to human health. But now, the industry that is keeping us healthy is starting to tackle its own impact on the climate. So I started a journey to find out what the healthcare sector is doing to tackle climate change and become sustainable. Across this series, we'll hear from leading experts and clinicians to learn about the innovative and groundbreaking changes helping to make healthcare sustainable. I'm Malaika Vaz, and this is Mission Zero. Our story begins with an important question. How can healthcare not only reduce its environmental impact, but also start to protect and regenerate the planet? And what are companies doing right now to bring about this change?
We are in desperate trouble. Fires throughout the globe, the massive heat waves in every single continent. These are catastrophic changes, and we have to slow them down, and we have to do it very, very quickly. Now is the time for action, and healthcare can make huge differences.
The healthcare sector is waking up to its responsibility to play a leadership role in addressing the climate crisis. In the next decade, we need to fundamentally transform our economy away from fossil fuels, toxic chemicals, industrial agriculture, and healthcare can help lead the way and frame that transition in the context of the health of everyone on the planet.
The World Health Organization has said that climate change is the biggest threat to humanity. We know that delivering healthcare, providing healthcare services impacts the environment, but we also know that environmental change and climate change impacts our health. And so healthcare sits right at the centre of both the opportunity and the challenge where environmental change and climate change is concerned.
We think we have a very important role to play to get sustainability across in the healthcare sector and create that connection between the health of the planet and health of people.
Healthcare has a real opportunity to make a difference, and if we consider healthcare globally, it would be the 5th largest country in the world. So think about the 5th largest country in the world making an impact on environmental sustainability. That's massive.
I've learned that, as a first step, healthcare companies need to reduce their carbon emissions. So many have committed to become net zero. But what does that mean, and how are they going to do it?
Net zero, in its simplest form, means reducing carbon emissions to essentially as close to zero as we can get, and then taking any carbon that remains out of the atmosphere. To become a net zero business, we're looking at this in all different aspects. Firstly, can we power our buildings with more renewable energy? What can we do with our suppliers to give us products that are really low carbon? Clinical settings, and actually what is it that we can do to make those settings more efficient and design out carbon wherever we can.
So what I've discovered at Bupa has given me a really good idea of what the healthcare industry can do to reach net zero. Now, I want to see what is happening around the world to make it happen.
One of the biggest successes we've had to date has been through our renewable energy contract here in Australia. That has enabled us to save 25,000 tonnes of carbon from going directly into the atmosphere.
One of the things that we've been doing in our care homes is carefully monitoring energy usage and then looking at where we can just tweak things to really make a difference to the emissions of running those homes.
El 100% de la electricidad que consumimos procede de fuentes renovables. Producimos además a través de nuestros paneles fotovoltaicos 1 gigavatio de electricidad renovable también en nuestras propias infraestructuras.
What we have committed to in our market region is reducing our carbon footprint by another 14% by 2025. The way we're going to do this is not only keep on reducing our carbon footprint in our existing buildings, but especially change the way we work with mergers and acquisitions and with our expansion teams to make sure that any new buildings coming into our portfolio are adapted to the net zero pathway.
I've learned that the majority of healthcare companies' carbon emissions come from activities outside their direct control, such as treatments their customers receive at other healthcare providers, or customer travel. In Spain, health app Lua shows patients how much carbon they can save by having online appointments or downloading medical records instead of driving to collect them in person. Everything I've found out so far is encouraging, but if healthcare is going to decarbonize, time is of the essence.
We are past the time now where telling people is enough, and in healthcare we are very, very well placed for taking action.
We've made some great progress, but we're still beginners. Whilst progress and momentum is really with us, we have much, much more to do.
Healthcare is 20% of the US economy and 10% globally. If we can model this transformation, we can show other sectors how to follow suit. We need to re-envision what healthcare is in the 21st century and move away from just treating chronic disease to preventing it.
Really what I think will make a big difference going forward is system-wide change. And we need to help people understand how to look after themselves and how to look after their own health.
It's so important that we really take ambitious action and show the commitments that we have are actually real. I truly believe that companies are where the change is going to happen.
I have to say, I was fairly skeptical about how the healthcare sector could actually change the way they impact our planet. But everything we have learned here gives me some hope. There is clearly a long journey ahead for healthcare, and I'm intrigued to see where this story takes us next. Keep following our series to find out more about how the healthcare sector and Bupa are on a mission together to keep us and our incredible planet healthy. To follow our series, hit subscribe in the Bupa YouTube channel.